on top of that, after all the chaos of the kids and teens, then we had Bin, who has been training his butt off for like the last 6-8 weeks, something like that.
Yep.
And then your
Yeah, it
boy,
showed. Yeah.
your boy guy on the right over here,
Yeah.
Mike stepped in last minute and signed up as well. So we're gonna go over. We've got 6 matches to check out: 4 from Bin, 2 from Mike. Yeah, I'll catch you at class or something, and we'll check it out. In any case, let's get to this stuff. So this has Bin's first match in his weight class.
Immediately pulls guard,
And
his opponent does.
yeah, and I kind of anticipated that. I think Luke did too, because you get one look at Bin's ears and you think, oh, this guy has wrestled his entire life, maybe more. So I don't blame guys for pulling guard on him and just thinking, let me enter the legs.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous with the leg entries that this guy was potentially looking for. He was given looks with, you can tell like he's inverting his knees to try and get in between Bin's legs.
Yeah, Ben stayed real
The angles
composed though, with that
He
like
did,
control
yeah.
over the shin, that little V grip on the shin you see, trying to stuff the legs.
Yeah, he did really good there.
And then now,
We've been working on that, like actually actively pummeling your partner's legs to go in between, like kind of splitting the legs and then keeping one at bay in a butterfly hook.
yeah,
So he did a really good job doing that. That's what we've practiced.
I think his opponent definitely had a triangle in his arsenal.
Sure.
So I was glad Ben didn't
The
leave
leg
anything.
length.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was glad he didn't
Yeah.
leave himself vulnerable to that. I mean, like we're gonna see a triangle later, but it wasn't especially threatening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, Ben got the fresh haircut for this one for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't just go into competition looking all regular. Great adjustment there.
Yep.
And
Good
then
recovery there.
Yeah, his opponent, like this was a really good attempt on the sweep. Problem is, we do that to Ben all the time, and Ben does exactly what he did. He was like,
Yep.
now, got his legs back, got his hips up. He's so good at winning the hip height battle. And then now his opponent makes a great adjustment here as well.
I liked that a lot.
Me too.
I really liked that he went for the Kimura, but I did not. I didn't understand why he was trying to rotate out like this.
Right.
I definitely would, like if I was coaching him, I would tell him to kind of stay onto that side rather than trying to spin around.
Yeah. Good sit out too. I mean, he recovered his guard well.
Yeah. No, he did. The kid's guard was legit. I was actually I was impressed with an intermediate.
Yeah.
How well he retained his.
That's a
his
good point.
guard.
Yeah.
So Ben's being very tentative here, not standing up straight. I know we were trying to yell posture to him, but he had his knee up the middle, so he was splitting the guard at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was definitely I didn't mind the guard break approach that he was taking. I wanted it to be a little bit more explosive.
Yeah. I'll say this now. If my camera starts acting funky,
Yeah.
the stream might crash. So if it does, you guys stick around and I'll get it started. I just have to like unplug a few things, plug them back in, and it should be good. But I think I'll be all right. It happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right at the end of the stream though.
Oh.
So yeah, this one good thing I could say about this is like Bin's top pressure here, very familiar to me. His opponent didn't really have an answer for off balancing. Like I think he really wanted to dig on legs, but Bin's used to that, and he's good at preventing it. And when you run into that against an opponent, you really have to work to get them off balanced. to make those legs easier to extract, much more vulnerable. And his opponent here wasn't doing much of that. So it made it easy enough for Ben to bide his time, stay safe, address frames, things like that. Yeah.
You could...
Jordan says, guy on the bottom's look a little tired.
Yeah, the pressure that Ben puts on you,
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting for a bottom player. And I've said it before a number of times during teaching, but playing closed guard is probably the most exhausting, like being an active closed guard. Like this kid's not standing still and like just kind of holding Ben down.
Right.
He's actively trying to get stuff going. That could be very taxing too.
Yeah, opportunity to pass here. Just going back a little bit. As Ben splits the legs, this is where like some good sideways work would come into play. Like as he finds his path shut down here, pummeling that
Back
right
step.
knee back through, and then cutting across to the right side. Playing that game of angles. He is fighting off a Kimura though, so could understand why he wasn't as mobile as he is sometimes. Got some big boys over here getting after it.
Yeah. It was actually a really nice takedown in the back right earlier on in the match. An inside trip that went really well.
I just want to see it. We always watch multiple matches, right? You can find it here. Sorry for the motion sickness.
Further back. Even further. That was a little. That wasn't the one I was talking about. It's all right.
Yeah, whatever. So we're here. Boom, boom, boom. Ben gets out. There we go. And yeah, this was a tough first match. To have it go the distance, and then spoiler alert, it goes to overtime. What was that?
He went to overtime on this one, right?
Yeah. That ref was actually really cool. He was yeah, I agree. I'm sure he would have appreciated it. He's one of the more jovial, entertaining refs you can have at these tournaments. So this is nice. We get Ben top half guard flattened out, but right as that happens, we get to the bell. All right, so it's 0-0, no advantages, no penalties, 2-minute overtime. Now, maybe it doesn't matter for this tournament. Maybe it's a new breed thing, but I expected Ben to get takedown points there. So guy goes to pull, but Ben makes a connection, a little foot sweep connection.
Yeah, and you'll see this in my match too, and I don't know whether the guy got points or not. I was confused on the same point.
It's tough. I hate that rule, but it is a way to get points. Again, I don't know if Naga takes that into account. I believe New Breed does. Danny had a match a while ago where his opponent racked up 4 quick points with that little loophole.
Yeah.
So back to it. His opponent takes on the same strategy, understandably so. And then now Ben starts to get back to where he was, which is great. This is a fantastic passing position to work from. Topside half guard, chest to chest, flattened out. Now it's a matter of getting rid of that lockdown.
Which is an outside lockdown. It's not the traditional lockdown.
Yeah, if the kid switched his legs, it'd be a little bit harder. I don't like doing lockdowns like this. I think it's pointless.
I do too. I don't see the pressure that you really put on.
But now, Ben, look at that top, that shoulder pressure. That left shoulder. The kid addresses it like immediately.
Yep.
But then now he's got to get his knee free.
Yeah, one thing to also consider here is that both of them are pretty dry. I mean, they're a couple, 3-4 minutes into the match.
Yeah, you'll start pouring sweat after, of course.
Yeah, afterward you're gonna drench, but like, yeah, at this point you're dry. So getting caught up in these leg entanglements and traps and stuff like that is a lot harder early on.
I was so worried about that. You could tell because I'm not doing good camera work.
Yeah.
And then Ben, so like, arm gets out. This is super dangerous here. But as Ben goes over, when this happened, I was very concerned that this was about to be a sweep. Because, I mean, his opponent has the power leg down. He could start to come up. But Ben uses that hip position to just tuck his hand back in front of him and then quickly switches his hips back up to get safe.
Yep.
And then now driving through that with control over that leg, he kept his opponent on his back and is able to rip his arm out. Now, this is the triangle threat that we saw. This
stays pretty safe here.
This is not nothing, though. Like, this is a reverse triangle. And if this knee starts to get more in front of Ben would be in some real trouble.
Yep.
And then right there, we get our pass.
Man.
So off of this threat. Yeah, I don't know. Ben, are you in the chat? Was this... I didn't get to ask him if this was... No, he's not in yet. I didn't get to ask him if this was as threatening as it could have been.
Yeah, I forgot to ask him yesterday.
But yeah, now, that was great. The kid knew. Once that triangle came off, Ben did the exact perfect things. Started scrambling, really trying to pass to get the points. And he got it with, I think, it was like 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't much. It was a good match.
Great match by both of them. That kid was very talented.
Yeah, good sportsmanship too.
Yeah, definitely has a good future ahead of him. All right, onward. So that was to start things off. So Ben coming out of the gate with the win, a hard-fought win, 7 minutes. Now back to another 5-minute match.
Yeah, and I think he only had he only had about 5 minutes of reboot on this one, right?
Yeah, it was something like that. We bought him a few extra minutes after like the 5-minute difference, but yeah, he jumped in. I was concerned about this dude's triangles. I had, again, for no other reason than body type. I didn't get to see this gentleman in any other matches. But I was like, all right, if he sits, like, we're going to be really careful about leaving any arms in vulnerable spots for triangles and arm bars. So this one started off a little bit more boring. I think Ben got that first match energy dump.
Yep.
A little bit. So, much more... or much less dynamic here. Hey, I get profiled nonstop with my short legs, so yeah. I've also just been caught in so many triangles from you long leg types.
Yep.
Yeah, so my problem here with Ben was just standing a little too still, kind of flat-footed. Like this tie up that they have, his opponent has double collar ties, or he did at one point. I didn't want that to turn into any stupid mistakes. I don't think his opponent is fresh either. He had a match before this, I think maybe against the same kid that Ben just went against. I can't remember now, but or actually no, I think it was somebody else. But yeah, they both seem kind of tired, so a little boring up front. And you see, we saw Ben like 2 different times there, like sticking his leg forward, maybe trying to get the guy to step or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for a little shrug by. Nice club. Now,
yep.
This is where the danger starts. Let me look at that takedown one more time.
Just a double
Yeah, set
Almost
up
blast.
hard collar tie.
He tries to hit it up the middle, but his head gets stuck on the outside.
Yeah, and at
So
this
he starts up the middle. Yeah.
and it, yeah, yeah, which is fine. But at this point, when you go to finish, legs have to go this way, head has to go
Right.
this way, and we ended up just going straight back. If this was wrestling, great. That's
Sure.
4 points, or whatever. But here, this is really dangerous.
Yeah, I was worried about this first one.
Right here, quelled my fears for a little bit.
Yep.
You see Ben starting to get to the correct side across the body. Thank you for checking in, Cole. So Luke and I were both like not very concerned about that, but I think he made a hand adjustment, like maybe early on. I can't remember, but Ben started. He said afterwards, he was like, "This is gonna be like this was getting bad. It was getting really tight." Again, he can't crunch down to his left side, so that's good. Or maybe it was a guillotine in his next match. I can't remember because
I think it was the guillotine later on in this match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same match.
'Cause,
everything blended together yesterday.
That guillotine didn't look as tight as the one that I remember, so maybe I'm thinking of a different one. So now, what are we? I think Ben gets 2 points for
the takedown. And his partner got 1 point for a threatening submission.
Right. So right there. Ref holds up 2 and 1. They reset. Ben's in a great spot here again. Top half guard, flattened out, chest to chest. Got the underhook on the far side. Get me some.
We know you're going to get some Oreos, probably.
Yeah. And you're not going to eat them all.
Just a sleeve.
Tonight. One sleeve before 9, one sleeve after 9. Great hip switch. Like, unlike our training footage, this is at regular speed, but this feels like it's sped up. But just really great quick movement there. I want to look at his opponent's legs so briefly come open. Like, I think what we're seeing is maybe his opponent trying to plant here to shrimp his butt out, start getting to like a butterfly hook or something, get into a position where maybe he could sweep. But Ben senses those legs open and just hits beautiful sweep.
Really nice. Yeah.
It gets the knee right in the pocket. That arm is not going to do anything to that leg. Ask me how I know. And Ben can just settle in. Gets 2 more points, so now we're 4-1.
Yeah, this is very much what we see of Ben in the training room. That type of passing.
Yep. And then nice. Up to a kind of a mounted crucifix. Get that hat out of here. Now, yeah, this is, I think, where it got a little dangerous.
Yep. Yeah, so his opponent
slips that bottom leg under.
Yeah, is able to put a little bit of pressure on the top, gets his left foot in. Now he's back to full butterfly, and Ben's head is all the way on the left side of the guy's body.
109, real quick. Where's Jordan alerting us to another great takedown? Because why not? I don't know where it happened. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's
a
good example of
a solid double.
How the double should have been finished to avoid the guillotine, right? So beautiful. Nice, solid takedown there. That was very nice. I love seeing those. All right, so we're ahead now. Makings of another guillotine. Maybe.
Looks like he abandoned and didn't go for it. Oh, there it is.
Almost to another pass. There's the pass.
Nope, he doesn't get the pass.
Yeah, he got stepped over here.
Yep, this one was the one that was tight.
It's a very jacked leprechaun. Yeah, nice guy. Yeah, this I think it was worse than it looked to us. When I saw Ben's face, like,
Yeah,
just like
he
scrunching
powered
up, I
through
was
that
like,
for sure.
oh no, he's having a hard go with this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, from here, it's like, that's really nothing. Like, I wouldn't even worry about it. But again, his opponent makes, yeah, it's this one. His opponent makes the hand switch, or like not a hand switch, but like a grip reinforcement. Kind of like the guillotine I got Joe in the other day. We looked at it on stream where Joe's head was just about to pop out, but I had barely enough shoulder over the back of the head. Kind of what Ben's dealing with here. And it looks a lot like a trach choke.
Yeah, kind of like a 5-finger guillotine.
Yeah. Which I'm glad he didn't tap to that, but I'm glad he felt it. Yeah. He has smashed my trachea so many times.
And then his partner gave up so much energy on those that he got the pass at the last second. Yeah, I think that was another point for the guillotine, and then another 2 more points for the pass, so 6-2 on that match. That like this match, we were all very stoked for Ben because it was very strategic, deliberate, well-timed techniques that he executed. Right, those guard passes were done very well, very quickly, at the right time. It was really beautiful to see. Anytime you guys pull off, in a competition, what you do to us in the training room, it's always always cool. So on to the finals match for Ben's weight class. I did not get to see this one. I was stuck in the back. Okay. I think Ben had a good 20-minute rest or something before this, so not not quite as tired as he was in that in the last one to start. I have a feeling his opponent was just gauging reactions there. Like, he didn't, that was a feint, he didn't really try to get the leg. He backed out very early. Just kind of seeing what Ben's going to do, if he's going to sprawl, if he's vulnerable. That was very nice. Really nice ankle pick. Let's see the handwork on this one. Can't tell. So I guess he's just got the underhook. Yeah, but even still, I don't know if he had an underhook necessarily. No, collar tie. Ben had an over tie. Yeah, so he had a collar tie there, slips to an underhook, but then shrugs it. Like you could see. Yep. See that arm shrugging over. And then the footwork. He's just sliding around the outside. Yeah, a little stutter step. Just catches him by the feet. That was a solid takedown. That was really good. I think you... So, Cole, I think you either mentioned that or he did the leg whip that we're going to see him do for a guard pass here. I wasn't sure if you were talking about this technique he uses for guard pass or that specific takedown when you said he did it in other matches. But he hits Ben with it again, I believe. And this is, so we'll just harp on this for a second. This is why it's really important, at white and blue belt level, when you're practicing your guard retention, a pass like this, where your opponent just kind of picks up one leg, throws it by, is pretty easily shut down if you can keep this leg out from underneath you, right? Ben's got it kind of underneath him right now, but you circle it around and over. So now, Ben would, it's just pummeling your outside leg back over every time you get thrown one way or the other. If you can make that automatic, your opponent's passes are going to have to be a little bit more precise, rather than this kind of tug of war sort of movement he's doing. Yeah, and it's also competition is different than the training room, right? Yeah. So being able to execute the technique and everything during the comp is Harder than it looks.
Yeah. What's up, Dylan? Welcome to the chat, buddy.
What's up?
I heard you're blonde now.
Oh yeah, I saw it today.
Yeah, there's another example. Short and Ryan. Yeah, this was a better example of that leg whip. Like, that's
also a good example of being able to regard from it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
This was
a better adjustment from Ben there. He gets the leg, the opposite leg in as a butterfly hook, which is that's good reaction. I don't want to take away from this dude's like technique or anything, but it's just I don't like this guard pass generally. Like it's too muscly. There's no connection. Like right there, you're relinquishing your connection to try to win this exchange based on speed, rather than pinning their hips in place, keeping their legs to an outside position, closing the distance. It's just not always going to work, especially if you're tired or if the other guy's real sweaty. The atomic leg drag, I like that a lot better. That's a much better name. And that's something that I feel like I haven't seen in years, because we definitely don't teach it. And it's something that you would just see at like white and blue belt. Guys just like ripping a leg by,
So
or wrestlers.
One thing, yeah, for sure. But one thing to take into account is like why it works so well.
Right. Because he just got points off of it.
Yeah, he got points. But can you go back to where he does that leg drag? So as soon as Ben sits up, he only has his ass on the mat, right? That's going to be the least amount of friction that you have on the mat for this technique to work. If Ben was supine and flat on his back, being able to spin or whip Ben around wouldn't really work, right? Because you would have all of that surface area to fight against. So it's, it's definitely a speed-based, strength-based type of a thing, but he's doing it pretty smartly, in my opinion. Just like how we put people, in supine, and then when they get up, we throw their legs by.
Right.
This guy's just doing, he's taking advantage of the least amount of friction that he can see.
Yeah.
By just, having his partner get up, right, and kind of like go in for an attack, and he's just dragging the leg by, and he's able to scoot his ass out from underneath him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing it. I know I just trashed the move, and I'm gonna start doing it to everybody.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna teach it and be like, I've been doing this for years. I've been doing it for years, and it works 90% of the time. I don't know why you guys don't do it.
It's the best guard pass ever.
Yeah.
Literally the best.
So yeah, his opponent's up on points now. I believe 4-0. And this is tough too. So his opponent now sees a vulnerability, right? So what does he do? He Ben sits. He has this pass that seems to be working for him. So he passes, gets points. Ben regards. He passes, gets points. Ben regards. And this is a way to this is a great tactical decision on his opponent's part to just kind of slowly rack up a little pad of points. Play safe. And he doesn't have to fight too hard to get a submission here.
That was a nice reverse cradle. I've been using that reverse cradle quite a bit when people go to turtle up in this. He said Ben has his left leg posted, and his opponent just reaches over, grabs deep into the knee, and crunches them together, and puts them on his side.
Just to take him out of turtle. It's like a breakdown.
Just to take him out of turtle. Yep, exactly, because that's where he wants to be, because then he can pass the guard again.
Yeah. Quick movements. Yeah. And I appreciate the ref being really thorough in checking the boxes here. He's like, oh, is he passed? No, Ben's got some frames in. Now he's like chest to chest. We'll give him his points.
This dude, he's a pro. He's been doing this for a long time. Pretty much every Naga I've ever been to,
Yeah.
he's refed.
Yeah. His opponent he feels he can, stick to the outside and get his passing points that way. And it's working well for him. I guess for Bin's sake, we should consider like what's the answer to something like that. after this match, when we kind of debriefed, he was talking about how 2 more points for Neon Belly here. Ben was talking about how he would go to do like a double Kouchi, right? Like shoot his ankles in between his opponent, but his legs, Ben couldn't get his legs far enough. The guy had his legs and hips back and his head out forward. And my answer to Ben was that's a great time to make that connection with him and pull him forward.
Upper body connection. Yeah. If somebody's denying you the lower body by sitting their hips back or their legs back, that means that their upper body is generally accessible.
Right, exactly. Yeah, when one is taken away, the other thing's accessible, unless the guy's just running away from you entirely.
Yeah.
Got his opponent here looking for the back take. Doesn't have it yet. He just has the one hook in. And he did have an Americana attempt, but the ref didn't give him points for that, which was good. That probably could have gone either way. So now on to another guard pass. Real grindy match from here. And that's time. So yeah, his opponent did a really fantastic job. Props to him. He played a very good game. And gave Ben a lot to think about as far as not just guard retention, but strategies to work from there. Setting up, because we don't just want to retain guard. We want to sweep our opponents, right? We want to take control of the match. So Ben takes second place in his weight class. And definitely takes home some new ideas to work on and shore up his game. This weight class was 170 to 179.9.
Yep.
Intermediate adult.
250.
250. Funny you say that. Great segue. Yeah. Ben's next match is in the absolute division against a gentleman who was in the highest weight class.
250 plus.
Yeah, 250 plus. So, fortunately, Ben had a nice 2-hour layoff from that last match that we just watched, so he could recoup, get past the adrenaline dump and the initial fatigue, and then get ready for what is the absolute division and why I typically don't do it. I told him before this, I'm like, I want you, like, he was in good spirits after this. He was like, I could go out here and have some fun and just move around and like play my game. I'm like, that's exactly what I want to see. Also, just like be heavy on the head. Like, I want you moving, I want you connecting and just jerking the head around, the neck, get his shoulders moving and make him work. That was a great ankle pick.
It really was an ankle pick. Yeah, it was a good ankle pick. Yeah.
And from an angle too, like his opponent doesn't take the head down. Like this is opportunistic, I'll say, because like normally, like you see a Cale Sanderson style ankle pick, they're gonna drag the head down close to the hip level to weigh the leg down. Ben just didn't get his leg away fast enough here. The leg was light and mobile. The other thing too, his opponent is using an outside grip, so like the right arm to the left leg. Ben can turn and essentially run out of this, right? If he's quick enough on it, he could turn this way and run out. But he stayed facing his opponent, so his opponent was able to double up on the grip, and he couldn't quite get by. Now this sucks, and I think we all have experienced this, but I say it with extra fervor. Yeah, and the things that we think about from here, sitting out, 4-pointing, they're all great answers, but sit outs under a much bigger opponent if you don't break grip, you really run the risk of hurting your neck pretty badly. Ask me how I know. So I don't blame Ben for hesitating here on trying to pick a direction to move, or waiting for his opponent to do something like hit a go behind, or try attempt a guillotine or something. So little drag forward. Ben tries to get up. We get him broken down. Opponent gets 2 points for the takedown, 2 points for the guard pass. Looking for that, maybe like a mounted crucifix. Steps over into top half guard. Definitely triple C. Big dude. But to his credit, he's using jiu-jitsu. Like, he's not just laying on bin and distributing his weight and all that, which
I was happy to see that too.
Yeah. This guy's here to do jiu-jitsu, and which I'll never be upset about that, even if I'm in Ben's position.
Yeah, he's even going, trying to isolate arms,
which is
at least
wild to see Ben under an Americana threat.
Right.
I don't think I've ever gotten Ben's arm to there.
Yeah. This is where I started to get worried.
Yeah.
Was when he was coming around into that dorsal position.
Yeah, good movement from here. He's gotten to mount now. I think mount or
no,
three-quarter.
He's three-quarter.
Yeah.
Yes, he hasn't gotten the pass or into the mount yet.
I just read your comment, Jake. I didn't notice, but he does kind of have the sumo hair tie going on, which is rad. I would do that if I was him. That's so his opponent here finishes it with a Kimura. Again, like I said, he was here to do jiu-jitsu. I like his approach to it. Once he gets his leg free, like he sets up the Kimura threat, uses that to get his legs free when they're unentangled. Now he can go on for the finish. Gets Ben's back off the mat. We all know Ben's got some tight shoulders, and he gets a tap. Great work from his opponent. Huge props to Ben for joining the Absolute.
Yeah,
it's always a gamble. You get your card pulled and you get the biggest guy in the competition. Again, ask me how I know.
Yeah.
All right, onward. This fresh rash guard, wearing the Twitch kit. First match with guy on the right.
Yep.
What's
I was
up,
really
Pib?
trying to see if I can use any sort of stand-up, and I'm not happy on how it turned out. But
So you were saying you couldn't get grips on this guy, right?
I couldn't. You see, like, normally when I grab arms, especially with a 2-on-1, I've got good grips. I just every time I had some sort of wrist grip with him, I couldn't get it. The only reason I was getting grips was because I was letting him establish grips on me, and anytime I grabbed his wrist, I physically couldn't keep a hold of it. They weren't slick. It wasn't like oily or anything like that.
Your grip was jet lag,
dude, it was bad.
You open your eyes wide as possible to make the other guy. Oh yeah, hell yeah. We need an icy red rash guard.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were calling out the time to Mike here. After about a minute or 45 seconds.
He actually just goes in for like a little knee tap.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was sitting about the same time that he does it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and sit.
Yeah, it was like a minute in.
And at literally the same time, he goes for like this cross-side knee tap. And I was like, well, I just gave up 2 points there.
Yeah. Better
immediately
finish
started
this.
going in. Yeah. Went in. He did a pretty good job here of trying to hide his heel. But as soon as I mean, it all kind of went really fast. He rotated in in a way that I was not expecting. So I invert, go into the legs.
Well, actually,
He
before we go
rolls.
too far, you throw up a triangle threat here, just like a thinly
Oh
veiled
yeah,
triangle threat. So like, what I love
yeah.
about that is that induces him to get his posture back, which opens up his legs, right? So
Yep.
he starts to get almost like, I don't know why this was a real bad mistake on his part. Like, he should not be stacking you like this,
Yeah.
because he is just giving you the leg at this point. But he's getting up probably with the intention of standing upright, and you just go, thank you, that's what I wanted.
Yep.
Slip right over, and then you play your, the game you like, which is, taking this back leg all the way over to get the heel exposure.
Yep.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean exactly that. And then he rolled in a way that I was not anticipating. So when he went to basically throw his leg over, he wanted to put me in 50-50. I don't know if he knew that's what he was doing or not, but he goes around, and then you'll see his right leg straighten out, and he's trying to put it across my body.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. And I was like, nope. So I switch, and I put my shoulder down to the mat. I get my ear down. He was doing a good job of keeping his heel tucked, but I've got that right hand that I'm using as a like a check, like I'm breaking on his knee so that he can't turn there.
Yep.
So that he can't turn his heel any further under me, right? And so then I can use my left hand to go back and dig for the heel. Once I feel like I've got the grip, I make a switch from my right hand to make a two-handed connection on the heel, and then I get the finish right here.
You know what I've never noticed, and I'm kind of mad about it, is your reach. So with your breaking hand, first off, Ben, what's up, bud? we just got through all of your matches, so please watch the replay. Sorry you weren't in the stream to comment back. I wanted some input from a few of the things. Maybe we'll bring it back up after Mike's matches, just to go over some of the threats that you were in. Yeah, we'll just start the whole thing over. Well, anyway, one thing I've never noticed, I think when I go, like if I was in this position, in your position, and I'm digging with my left arm to get to the heel, I'm simply looking for the heel to land on my wrist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're overshooting it completely, getting the wrist behind the heel, but then you're grabbing at his calf, like your breaking hand is right here. Like
That's right.
You've gone way past it, and I need to play around with that, because I still like digging a leg out. Like, again, you're an outside Ashi as well. Like, you don't even have heel exposure yet. You're getting it now, and it's making it like that's a lot tougher in my opinion. So he's tucking his heel, but he's just posting and elevating his hip, which isn't a real defense.
I agree.
Yeah, you'll hunt for the heel no matter how hard he's tucking it, unless he uses this. Yeah.
You're right. And I would actually, if I was still failing at exposing the heel or getting the grip, I would initiate the roll. Like all I would do is, so yeah, to your point, Pib, I'm just going to start rolling over my shoulder and going to my left, right? And initiating like a gator roll in order to expose the heel that way, right? Because you can expose it on the roll through better than trying, because you get stuck eventually in this position.
Yeah.
But the way that I'm not getting stuck is with that handbrake there. To your point, Matt, yeah, I do that to protect against the toes slipping out of my armpit.
Yeah.
So I'll overshoot and I'll hit the calf to make sure that I'm tight enough on the toes in my armpit, and then I'll draw my elbow back and go in for the finish.
And then another good thing I like about that is you're not going gable grip. You're literally doing like a knife grip, like when you're grabbing a guillotine, grabbing the blade of your hand. You're not even setting up for everything we typically would teach in a sterile setting of like, this is exactly how you do a picture perfect heel hook when there's no, resistance, right? That's I'm gonna have to practice that a lot, and I'm gonna do it to you, and I'm gonna finally be able to heel hook you more regularly. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. I like a 2-on-1 grip on the calf before. Yeah. It's like that. Yeah,
Yep.
that does make a huge difference.
One other thing that I'll point out that may not look too crazy is that I'm not locking up a full figure of 4.
Mm.
I'm locking up like a quarter triangle. You see how I've got a triangle. I'm fully committed with my right leg all the way across, but I'm only going up to about, mid calf, I would say, or like lower calf. I'm not making a full triangle. The reason I'm doing that is to give myself a little bit more length so that I can get onto his heel, right? Because if he starts straightening his leg out, I need a little bit more length on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also find that I get a better bite on the leg if I do that mid triangle type of bite. I learned that from Craig Jones, like his first
Yeah, like leg
DVD
locks
that.
from down under or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, that was cool. Didn't even break a sweat. Great first match.
How long was that? Minute and a half?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're at 3 seconds in and
Yeah, minute and a half.
minute 20.
Yep, exactly.
Already perpendicular to knee joint. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when you first started doing that a lot.
Yep. Well, this next one didn't go my way.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
You lose. Spoiler. Is that why you're drinking?
Yeah, I gotta drown my sorrows. So this guy came in and I felt like he was gonna get tired fast. So I was trying to stay heavy on the head as much as possible because I really wanted him to get tired so that I can go to work.
Oh,
I did.
Pib is thrashing you right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hindsight being 2020, I should have played the same game.
Hey, we're all gonna be double knee sleeves guys eventually. I've honestly been
surprised.
thinking about buying knee sleeves. Because
I'm surprised I'm not double knee sleeve guy.
Dude, when I'm drilling in fundamentals, my bursitis.
Oh yeah.
I sound 70 years old, man, but it's like, oh my god, my knees are on fire right now.
So this guy had a better chance at making grips, as you could see. Like my 2-on-1s were a lot better.
I was very happy with your approach here too.
I needed to get this guy to give me something. I knew that he was going to stay super tight on me.
You're disappointing Pib's daughter, dude.
Yep. So he comes in nice and tight. Oh, I forgot they broke us up. And I don't like playing close guard for too long. I said it earlier, but I feel like it's a very tiring guard, at least for me to play. You were yelling at me to hit an arm drag, if I remember right.
I mean, just getting the arm across, yeah, like working from here to get the arm over, because your hips were already getting out to the side. And I'm like, oh, if he can see, like, as much pressure as he's putting on you to like turn your face and all that, I'm like, if you could just pummel that arm, his right arm across the body, like you're in a good spot to start like throwing up a good threat.
Yep. So I'm starting to try to walk up his body, but I couldn't get too good at grips on walking up. My hips were kind of trapped. He did a pretty good job of keeping me low. But then I started coming into this, and I was like, okay, I might be able to go for for a triangle.
Yeah.
Of some sort, if I can get my
or even
my
a dead
left leg
orchard
out.
if he really sucks.
Or a dead orchard. But no luck. Then I see his arm, and I get hyper fixated on this.
Which is like, fine. Okay. That's your game. Like, you hit these really well.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, I wanted to pull this off. Like, I really wanted to get a straight arm lock. He did a good job of breaking that down, pulling his elbow in nice and tight. I'm trying to work angles. Right about here, I was feeling good about it. But his corner was yelling out for him to stack me, to continue to stack so that he can get his arm back. And he did a really good job here. So I decided to change tactics a little bit. and I just went in for I believe an over under. So I hit an underhook on my left side, overhook on the right, and as he started coming in, I started noticing him committing. And this is where I really fucked up.
I was
So
thinking
you
about
could
this
see-
a lot today.
Yeah, so was I last night actually, not today.
Nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah, so that whole exchange, I just I should have just went with my gut and initiated that roll a little bit more, or committed to the anaconda strangle.
So yeah, we'll do some Monday morning quarterbacking here. So from few things I would change from this. Go through this, yada yada. Here, it would be focus entirely on getting his back to the mat. Like, because you got the makings of a sweep, you just need to establish position. It would be rip that arm out from underneath him instead of posting, and then drive through, right?
Yeah.
To try to get him flat, get your points. You even have your left knee in a position to go to like a knee staple, 3/4 mount, work from there. So that would be the first thing. I mean, and that's assuming, you know, you even win this exchange. Here he's trying to like rip your leg back with his, you know, his knee sleeve. But as he gets up, I was thinking more about this because, you know, I wanted you to hit this anaconda. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, go for it. And I was trying not to yell specific things just so he
Yeah.
couldn't adjust, because I hate that. But when it didn't work on this first tuck, right, when that didn't send him,
I should have just kept going. It was gonna go. It was gonna go, but I really needed to dive under, so I would have had to reset
and
try again.
not just that, like, because I think the dive is fine. It's like his knee, right? So if there was a dive and with this foot planted, I think adding in some lateral motion to this may have helped a little bit as well. And that's getting like into the nitty gritty of like what you could have done here to like work through this. No,
I should have just reset. When I went here, I should not have gone for the go behind. I should have just reset, dragged him under, and kept pulling him into me, and then initiated the roll again.
Yeah. I mean, the grip was very stout. And then here it was, you know, like I made this mistake in competition. If you were going for the go behind, right? Like that arm is free to move. Again, really details here. Go ahead.
I felt like I had a good block on his arm to start walking behind and get my left knee behind, but he stuck his arm in between my legs.
And that's vulnerable.
When he did that, I was like, okay, keep doing that. Like, I like this, because I was going to jump around and try and go for a crucifix.
Jordan makes a good point too. Like, I'm curious if, to Jordan's point, if you held this.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to go over.
Yeah, like if you
100%.
if you stuck to this for like 5 more seconds, if you would have eventually like capitulated, but yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But now you're thinking, go ahead.
I wasn't hearing everybody telling me to go for the anaconda. I was hearing.
You heard me saying go behind.
I heard something about go behind, and I was like, shit, did I do the wrong thing? and then I went for the go behind after it failed, because I was like, anyway, it got in my head. I shouldn't have let it, but it did. And then I ended up here.
Biggest lesson: don't listen to your corner ever. Just follow your gut and ignore your corner.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, but yeah.
I was hopeful on that crucifix too. Like, he does a great job slipping out though. That was really good work.
He did a good job, and honestly, I wanted to stay in that position where he was on my back, or like I was in turtle, and then they reset and I was not all there, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm standing back up. But I
Yeah.
should have fought to go like back down in that turtle position because I wanted to roll and get back into a guard.
Yeah.
But here it left me vulnerable to a takedown.
Yeah, so we're coming up on the last minute of the match.
And we're 0-0 to this point. There's no points scored. And I was feeling pretty good about this in terms of he was tired, I was not. And then he shoots that single and I was like, well, I may have just lost this match. Because I just tried to to sweep him for 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And oh yeah. So see how he goes for that leg?
Yeah.
How did I down block? Or did I down block? Did I miss the down block?
You missed it.
Go ahead.
He kind of throws his hands up, like he feints a little bit, like there, like he's gonna engage with you, and then hits a level change. And just, you know, for our own students, when I yell at you guys about level changes, see how he's not level changing at his hips, he's doing it at the knees. This is why it works. You get down faster, your spine is in a neutral position where you're not vulnerable to, you know, having your head pushed down or whatever. This is what a good shot looks like, right? Or an effective shot.
Yeah.
Able to get in and close the distance.
Inside again, and again, I was thinking crucifix here because it was the same position that I was in before.
Right.
So I started to try and hike my left leg up, but he circled around the other side. I was not expecting him to go to the non-captured side.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He hits a cutback single on you.
He hit a cutback single.
I mean, I guess.
But a reverse
kinda,
cutback. It's a reverse cutback.
Yeah.
It was on the opposite hip that I would have expected.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I found that interesting. And even when he did that, I was like, damn, that was a good shot. I told him when he took me down. And then from here, I was trying to get a little bit of separation. He did what he was supposed to do. He was hugging on me really tight to make sure that I wasn't able to get anything going. And then time ran out.
Yeah.
So we got it.
Yeah. That was good though. That was a really good match. And as always, Mike, all smiles. Even with an L.
Yeah.
Ben, since you're here, I think it was this match. I was wondering about this.
Oh, the guillotine.
Well, the guillotine and the triangle. This wasn't the triangle match, was it? This was the guillotine. Yeah, triangle was the first match. Ben, was this kind of a blood strangle? You know, was he on your arteries, or was this very much on your neck? What's up, Deathcore? That's bloody Mike's in the chat for sure.
Yeah, this is like the first competition that didn't draw blood.
You normally bleed like a stuck pig, man.
I know.
Sure. He beat Mike's look like he's ready to run a marathon. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Ben, are you listening? Answer me now. Curious about the guillotine here, and then think neck, more crank. Okay, yeah. Which, I mean, that's kind of what I feel like at this point. Like, I see daylight. Like, I see the rep, you know, his feet.
In the elbow, the crook of the elbow. Yeah, and crook of the elbow, too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough, man. And then one other thing, Ben, that I was curious about with this dude. Is it later? I think it was later. Because you get caught in a reverse triangle briefly. Oh yeah, it's how you got your points. That's right. So it's towards the end of this match.
It's the very end. There.
Yeah. Good job, Jordan. Child. So yeah, here, Ben, was this of any concern to you? Like, was this a strangle at all, or were you pretty good? Because this is not a safe spot, but you didn't, like, his angle is not good for this reverse triangle. His knee is a little too high. Like his knee's behind your head. It needs to be more towards the front of your head. Biceps are too big. All right. Fair. Checks out.
Question answered. Yep.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure, but looking back on watching the footage again, I was curious if this was even a concern for you. But yeah, you did such a great job timing that pass when he realized he didn't have it. You were like, "Go ahead, get your legs off of me, and I'm gonna pass you." And that was beautiful, man. Go back to watch all of our other glowing comments and scathing criticisms from your matches. That was such a great performance, man. Super proud of you.
It really was.
Proud
proud
of all the work you put into in the lead up to this.
All the way up to it, for sure.
I would what always happens with these. I think obviously you guys who compete improve so much more than you normally do when you're just coasting through class. But in training with you, all of us benefit too. So that's why it's always important for you guys to compete if you're feeling up to it, if you want to do it. Sounds
January.
like Jake wants it. Jake, yeah, I believe
January. It's a new breed.
Let's look it up right now.
Yeah.
We'll give you a date. Oh no, that's a past one. Looks like January 18th.
18th. Okay.
Yeah, Saturday, January 18th.
Do it.
So yeah, write it down, man. Let's start getting ready for that. Oh, okay, yeah, thank you, Ben. Yeah, let's again, Ben kind of lit the fire, right? So I think if a lot of you guys want to start competing, let's get a squad going. Blake wants to do Atlantic City. She was talking about that
all yesterday.
Yeah, yes. Jake, you don't want to? Why not, man? Old Breed. That's
Old Breed.
That's every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday at our school.
Sunday. Yes.
Jake's gonna start a war. But yeah, January 18th. Let's start thinking about it. Let's start getting ready for it. Because like I said, you guys always get better when you prep for it, but we all get better in helping you out too. So everybody stands to benefit. Thank you guys for tuning in. There will not be a stream on Wednesday. There might be a stream Sunday. I don't know. Mike, if you're around to get footage from Saturday, if people are training Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I should be there Saturday.
We'll make it tentative, right? If we got something Sunday, great. I'm driving back from Florida on Sunday, so I will not be
mobile streaming.
I will not be training. Yeah. yeah. I'll stream from my car. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree, Ronnie. But I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your downtime. Be on the lookout for any schedule updates from the school. Check your emails. Check your text messages. All that stuff. Pib, thank you so much for tuning in. Always love to have you in the chat.
Thanks for tuning in, man. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate the chats.
Hopefully we'll have some more judo stuff for you to go over too, because we're working a decent amount.
That was
in
pinball was
in
big.
live training.
Pinball was the big
that's right.
guy.
That's right.
But
Yeah,
Pib knows his shit.
Yeah, he does.
Take it easy, Dylan. We'll see you at class. Class tomorrow, of course. But yeah, I don't think there's anything on Thursday. Anyway, check your
Open
emails.
mat on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an open mat. Yeah.
Yeah. Follow if you're lurking. Subscribe if you're liking. Subscribe at YouTube as well. We'll post this up for you guys to review. Ben, especially you, go check out your footage again. And yeah, go enjoy your holidays, guys. Thank you so much for training hard. Go trim your nails and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. And we'll see you back on the mats. Take it easy.
Later.